Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and I'm a first-time mom navigating motherhood during this crazy time and trying to introduce the concept of Montessori to my baby girl. I fell in love with Montessori back when I was in college and worked in a Montessori school with kids 3 to 6 years of age and decided that that is definitely something I wanted to bring into my home when the time was right. And now the time is here. So whether you're a mom-to-be, or interested in learning about the Montessori principle in general, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel below, as I'll be uploading a video every single week related to children, navigating motherhood, and Montessori. Now, in following the Montessori principles, we need to set the environment first. So I wanted to introduce you to our baby girl's nursery. Now I have to say she does spend most of her time in her Montessori-inspired playroom, and that will be the next video I have up on this channel. It will be linked here or here as soon as it's ready. You may notice right away that an important element is missing from our nursery, and that is the Montessori bed. Essentially, it's a bed that allows the child to get in and out independently. I went back and forth a lot in deciding whether or not to get a Montessori bed versus a crib. In the end, I did choose a crib because we are in the Midwest, and our house is not the warmest during the winter. Now that it's December, I'm actually really glad I went with that decision because I'm having a hard time keeping the floor, even in the playroom, warm enough for her to play on, much less be warm enough in the middle of the night. However, as she does get older and is able to use blankets and pillows to keep her warm, it's definitely something we're going to reconsider. And when that update happens, I'll be sure to update this on the channel as well. And now without further ado, let's move on to the nursery tour. This is the smallest room that we have in the house, but it is just perfect for a nursery. My favorite part about this room is the window. It brings in so much beautiful light, and so it's always sunny in here. Even on the cloudiest days, somehow this room manages to be nice and bright. So if we take a quick look around, not too big of a room, but like I said, it does do everything that we absolutely need. Now when you walk in, we do have her little changing station here. So right above the changing table, we do have just some little shelves that we put some decorations on. These will obviously change as she gets older and has more to decorate with. That little doggy lamp is actually what we use in the middle of the night. We went through several lamps that are right behind me as well to try to figure out what would be just enough light for us to change her, but not bright enough to wake her up, and that doggy was it. On the big shelf on the left, we've got a little red ducky that her daddy brought her from Germany from a business trip, and the little owl is actually a nail filing and nail scissor set, so it's nice and handy for when she does give me a chance to take care of her nails. I did opt for an actual changing table as opposed to a dresser. She does have a dresser in her closet instead, and I thought that it would just be much easier to grab diapers, wipes, whatever when we're changing her, if it's just nice and open instead of trying to fumble through drawers. And so far, I've absolutely loved just having a traditional changing table instead. On the right of the table, we do have our hamper. That way, whenever we're changing her, and especially during the blowouts, it's very easy just to chuck it in the hamper. On the left, we do have the diaper genie. So far, it's been working just fine for us. I don't have any complaints. It was the cheapest option that we could get, and I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. On the bottom, I've got my pink drawers of extra items. So back when she was getting swaddled, this is where all of her swaddles are. I do still keep them around just in case we were taking walks in the warmer weather. I could throw one of these over to cover her up. I still use them to cover her car seat when we're going out, since she can't wear a mask or anything, or if I just need to lay something down for tummy time and such. And in here, we've just got some extra changing table necessities. So we've got the wipes, the diapers, the diaper genie refills, everything that we would need just in case it runs out, so we're not running downstairs in the middle of the night. And in the main shelf, I've got a bunch of diapers that we keep rotating through. Got a warmer with the Aquaphor. We are in the Midwest, so in the middle of the night, the wipes do get quite chilly, and it does make a difference for her to use the warmer. And what I like about this one is it does have a little water reservoir here, so anytime we're opening it, it actually sprays a little bit of the water, so they're always staying moist. I haven't had any issues with the wipes getting dry. Don't know if it's the water reservoir or if we're just going through them that quickly, but either way, it's been working really well for us. This is what we use as her diaper rash cream. It works really well. And here we've just got a basket of bows, so we're always able to get her nice and pretty. And up here, I do have a nice little protector, a quilted protector on top of her changing pad. So it's still nice and cozy, but it is also waterproof. So in case there are any accidents, it's very easy to just take it off, throw it in the hamper, and replace it with the extras that we've got right over here. This was actually something we added almost at the very end of creating our nursery, this shelf here, because there were a bunch of items that we thought we would still need within arm's reach that just weren't going to fit into the changing table area and needed to be closer to the nursing chair instead. So on top, we do have some decorations that just went with the colors of the room and with the theme of the nursery set. On top, we have just a lamp. It is a lot brighter than we thought it would be, which is why we ended up purchasing several other small lamps that we use instead. But this is a good bright lamp, it turns out. We did buy a little star clock. Her name is Stella, so a little star clock for her. We didn't realize how difficult it would be to keep track of the time on our watches or on our phones, because when you're holding a baby that's crying and if she's finally calmed down for a nap, it's not that easy to actually reach into your phone and check what time it is that she did fall asleep. This way, I'm able to see the time from the changing table and from the nursing chair, so I can always keep track of when we changed her diaper, when I've fed her, and take care of keeping track of all that time. And on the other side, I do just have a nice little plant just to bring in some color into the room. It is a fake plant. I wasn't sure that I would be able to keep a live one alive just long enough, so for now it's just a fake one. Now, going through the shelves, obviously at the very top, we've got the most important item in our household, the burp cloth. Now this is probably what we reach for the most in our house, is the burp cloth, not only for when we're burping her, but just anytime she's spilled some water on herself or if she's drooling a bit, we just always have one on deck. So it's the first item, the closest to the nursing chair. That way it's always easy to grab. Next to it is another item that's extremely important in our house. It's the books. We don't know exactly at what age babies are able to understand what we're saying to them, but it is never too early to start reading to them, to introduce language to them, and to also introduce a love for books. We do speak Russian and Korean in our house, but obviously most of the books here are going to be in English. On the bottom there, I've got some nursery rhymes in Russian that are actually passed down from my mom to me. And the next item down here is the bibs. We use them also for when she's eating. We've had one too many incidents of the bottle leaking on us and getting all over her clothes. And now if we've got a bib on her, it definitely protects her from that. We do bottle feed breast milk instead of breastfeeding, and I can make a whole video on why we chose that route at a later time. Next to that are kind of the everyday essentials. I've got the little Red Cross kit, which has just an aspirator. It's got a thermometer in there. It is a manual thermometer. It was very difficult to buy any thermometers back when I was purchasing stuff for her nursery because it was just at the beginning of this crazy time we're living in. We have since purchased a touchless thermometer, and that works wonders. It's what her pediatrician uses anyway, so I feel just as comfortable using a touchless thermometer instead of that one, but it is in there on deck just in case. And then I've got her vitamin D drops here. Since she is getting breast milk, she does need the vitamin D drops. And then we've got her gripe water, and then down here we do have the replacement of those changing pad protectors that I mentioned earlier, and a little basket of snacks for me. And I don't have to grab these as often anymore, but back when she was much younger, I was definitely spending a lot more time just either feeding her, pumping in here, or getting her settled down for a nap. And sometimes lunchtime would pass by and I still hadn't had any food in me, so these were definitely a lifesaver. Now on the opposite side here, next to the beautiful window, we've got a lamp. Now, funny story with this lamp was that it was actually supposed to be pink and white to go kind of with the theme of the room. Definitely don't see any of the pink that was in the Amazon description, but you know, it still worked for us. I think it actually ended up being better that it's not pink, considering it's right next to the pink curtains. And the nursing chair is actually one that my parents still had from when my brother was born. He is 13 years younger, so it's been stored away for a while, waiting for its time to return, and here it is. Nice and comfortable. I think it looks nice and lightweight considering how small the room is. And I've got a nice throw on it because it is getting colder here. This shelf is actually a later addition because I realized when I'm feeding her, there's no place for me to put items that need to be within arm's reach. It was actually a lot harder than you would think to find just a simple, cheap side table that wouldn't be used for anything beyond just holding a couple items. Finally did find one here. So now that she's older, it is easier, but back when she was much younger, I used to actually pump while she was napping in the room, so I used to have all my pump items here as well. Now we've got actually a wireless charging station. That's the black item you see on the right. That's very helpful. Instead of having to fuss around with connecting a cable to the phone, I can just plop my phone down as I'm sitting down to feed her. Sometimes that's the only time I have a chance to charge my phone and make sure I'm still able to connect to anyone in case of an emergency. Next to it is her sound machine. And the middle shelf there is the current book that I'm reading to her when I'm getting her ready for a nap. It's another Russian nursery rhyme book. We did take out the humidifier now that it's getting colder and drier in here, so that's going right there. Now on this wall, we do just have two of the same shelves as on the opposite wall above the changing table. One of them has the bunny lamp that was originally going to be our nighttime diaper changing lamp. It ended up being more of a hassle than it was worth. It's battery operated and you have to pick it up and actually turn it on the bottom, which is just not that convenient in the middle of the night. The little doggy lamp, instead you can just boop its nose and it turns on for you. But it is still very cute, so I kept it up there. Next to the bunny, you see a little sensor. That's actually for the Nest thermostat. I love the window in this room. However, the window does make this room a lot hotter than the rest of the house. So I wanted to be able to keep track of what the temperature is in her room as opposed to everywhere else. On the other shelf, we've got a little piggy light that just matched nicely with the rest of the little white lights that we've got going on. And next to him, that little black box is actually another thermostat to make sure that the temperature on the Nest is correct. And also a barometer that keeps track of the humidity so it's not too humid and not too dry for her. Then we've got a little bunny mirror for her. I did want to have a mirror for her that was at the right height for when we're carrying her around so she can get used to seeing herself. Now when she is older, my plan is to have actually, instead of the changing table, to put in a dresser and a mirror that is going to be her height, so that just like Montessori envisioned, she has a chance to get herself ready on her own. But for now, I wanted her to still get used to seeing herself in that mirror right there. And now this is obviously the main area of the crib, and we've got a cute little bunny rug for her right here. I wanted it to be kind of an animal theme for her in the room, but not screaming in your face safari land, just something a little bit more neutral, a little bit calmer, but still cute, a little bit based in reality, just like Montessori envisioned. And above the crib, we have these beautiful woodland animal prints that we got on Etsy. It was actually a set of 6, and we chose 3 that we wanted for this room to print out on canvases. And I thought it just looked a little bit more mature and sophisticated for her, so she's able to use them when she's a little bit older as well. Now, obviously, she does not take naps with the little animal or with the quilt just yet, but they are waiting for her for when she's ready. We do have the matching mobile as well, the matching bed skirt, and the matching bed sheets. And finally, this is the closet here. Again, I wanted to put in little touches here and there that kind of went with the theme. So we got these cute little raccoon handles for her closet door. This is also on Etsy. Inside the closet, I've actually got a little bunny that also came from Etsy. It's handmade for the light pole. Like I mentioned, the dresser in her room is actually inside the closet. This is where we keep her clothes. On top, I've got a basket of extra blankets for when we take walks. Her biggest blankets are actually in the stroller right now, and a basket for all her laundry. So this is typically full of her laundry that is clean and ready to be folded. We finally did go through the laundry. That means there's more on deck to be washed. So I like to hang her nicer clothes or her like cuter PJs to wear up here, and you have her sets, and then just fold her sleep and plays and her swaddles for when she was younger. Those went into the dresser. And so that is the nursery. Just one final look around. So that is it for the nursery tour. I hope you enjoyed it and had fun getting a sneak peek into our baby girl's room. Like I mentioned, in the next video will be a tour of her Montessori playroom. So definitely go ahead and subscribe so you know when it is up. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel. Let me know in the comments below what other things you're curious about in the Montessori world, and I'll be happy to make more videos about that. Until next time, stay safe.